Now, the performance, we'll just be real quick. We'll just skate over this one.
No, we won't. Buckle up.
The Tigers defeat the Doggies 28-14. And I got to say, what's so impressive about this win is like a little bit similar to one of the early games we were talking about. Well, not the Eels lost to the Storm, but similar in the sense that like the Tigers didn't just like hold on for the game. Like they won it convincingly. They wanted it more. They were running harder, tackling harder, everything harder. And the Dogs had no answers. Really, their only answer was Critter in good ball with his short passing game. I was just surprised with how much the Tigers won the game by. Like I thought that maybe there was a tight game where their passion just got them across the line, but really at the end of the day, it was a convincing win. I mean,
it was a spanking. They were just so up for the game.
Yep.
And, I know that a lot of them kind of, when asked about it, said that, obviously players leaving and stuff wasn't something that they spoke about through the week. And whether it was or it wasn't, they clearly were up for this game a little bit more than normal. It's one of the best wins I've seen from the Tigers just about ever. Like, the way that they ripped in tough conditions as well. It was pretty ordinary out there at the ground, but very, very proud of the way that they went about it. Obviously, Adam Doueihi, who's spoken about a lot, he was fantastic. Kind of a bit of a late change where Latu Finu got put on the bench.
Smart from Benji Marshall, I reckon.
Yeah, I thought it was a great decision as well.
Do you think it was conditions based with the long kicking game?
I think it's big game based.
Big game based.
Yeah,
I think so.
A bit of both. But look, so many players played really, really well. But it was incredible. And I think the Dogs, they could feel that the Tigers were up for it, but they didn't. They were a little bit rattled. They weren't able to kind of keep up with it.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
And what's funny as well is like it's not even like the Tigers started well. They were giving away penalty after penalty. And I'm sitting here going, okay, the Dogs are about to run over him here, but they just kept turning up. I've got to say, from a Bulldogs perspective, you want to pray there's no wet weather in finals footy, because in wet weather, their whole system falls apart.
I don't know why.
It's bizarre. Well, I think it's because it's all about smaller bodies and ball in play and speed of the ruck. But when it's wet, there's all these errors. It's stop-start, which probably suits a team like the Tigers because they throw the ball around. They got forwards that are big boy like Terrell May.
They want a battle of attrition where, as you said, there's ball in play and there's not these stoppages of scrums and knock-ons and all that, because I think they'd back themselves to be fitter than any team in the comp with this smaller bodied forward pack.
Well, I think Penrith Panthers had the same issue at the start of their reign where they actually lost the Tigers in torrential rain as well. And I think it just their game plan just falls apart.
The stoppages at the end of the day just slow down the game, really.
Yeah.
So it's... Yeah, because they've had a few now where they've been... Was it the Dolphins earlier in the year?
Yes, Dolphins. I think Broncos as well. And they nearly lost to the Rabbitohs also in the wet.
Yeah.
So, they've struggled with that a little bit.
It's just like, so you'd be looking at the weather heading into finals footy.
Yeah.
Look, I will say, being a bit facetious, like obviously it is an issue, but like this is just all a part of a rookie coach developing a roster. Like you're not going to just be perfect out the gate. Things take time to build on top of each other. For example, heading into next year, is there selections that he can make a different in a wet... Let's say there's going to be a wet weather game, does he select bigger bodies in the middle or something like that for that week? There'll be certain things that he can do to fix that, or will they just get better? I will say, like, in regards to... their spine still needs time to become a really good attacking spine. And I think that when it's stop-start... you need your set plays to be really, really good. And I just don't know if the Dogs' set plays are there yet. Usually they win games and score tries. And Critter did a really good job. He obviously scored 2 off set plays, but they usually score tries off fitness and just fatiguing other teams, building pressure. I think their next step will be, how do we score just off our brilliance when it comes to our set plays? And that'll take time, but I think they'll get there.
And like to that point, they've had a new halfback come in the last, starting for a few weeks now. They lost their fullback, who's been there every game this season, I believe, in Connor Tracy. So the first week without him, which forced a reshuffle as well. So there's
he missed his meters in wet weather that he would have brought as well. I think I would give Lachlan Galvin credit. Like, he didn't have his best game, but I do really respect that he just kept turning up. Like, it was a tough game for him. He stayed patient and he got through his work, but he didn't go hiding, which I really do respect. It shows a good testament.
For a young bloke who come into that game where you could hear it on the TV, but Hammy and his minions out there booing every time he touched the ball. You know, he kept his head. He didn't lose temper at all, and it would have been a tough afternoon for him. But
would have been tough.
Yeah.
Now, did your director or CEO come out to get angry at you for booing, or
With me?
Yeah, because they said no booing.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that. The chairman or something said that. But look, I'm sorry, but when you've been through as much like supporting, it's been tough for quite a while. It was a tough period of the year. I think fans and members got every right to
Boo
let people know how they feel. Yeah, in the right way.
No.
There was a few moments where I was like, "Oh, that might be getting a bit much."
Yeah, okay.
At the start of the game, but I think if it's just a bit of general booing, it is what it is.
Well, I tell you what, if he was just a fringy that got moved on to another club, no one would give a shit. It's because he's actually good that people give a shit.
Yep.
But yeah, in regards to the Tigers' performance, it really was the Adam Doueihi show. Like those early line breaks that he had, going down the short side, catching them unawares, that's just a confident, seasoned player backing himself when he sees something, And I think that's probably something that sometimes, Luai can do it, but when he's worried about steering the ship, the team around, he doesn't do it because he's worried about steering the ship. Whereas a guy like Fianu, I always say it wrong, Fianu, because he's so young, does he have the confidence to take a short side run? Probably not. Understandably so. He's so young. Whereas Doueihi, that's what he was brought into the side when there's big moments. Back yourself, and he does that. And that was really the difference. Doueihi really was the difference in this game. That's how good he played, in my opinion.
And certainly early on, he was the difference, and he dismantled one of the best defensive sides in the NRL in shit conditions as well. And Adam Doueihi's always had this in him. He's just had such a tough run of injuries and getting his body back to where it needs to be. And you saw him streaking away for that try as well. Showed good speed that we haven't seen from Adam Doueihi in a long time now.
Absolutely, because I thought the young winger, at least in one of those breakaways, would catch him. Didn't
Yeah, I couldn't believe the afterburners he had on him a couple of times, particularly in a wet ground as well. He just no one could get near him yesterday.
So what my question is, and I was a bit sceptical, not from a best 13 perspective, but what does this do moving forward, and what do you do with Adam Doueihi? And we spoke about 5'8" lock, whatever it might be, and obviously you're trying to secure his signature for the time being, but I look at the Parramatta Eels and what they've done, and they've made decisions that may not necessarily benefit them this year in winning games, but they're looking towards next year. Sure, let's say even if Adam Doueihi does stay, your halves next year are Luai and Finu, right?
Yeah.
You'd imagine?
Yep, and Benji's even said that. He even said it in the presser yesterday.
Yes.
That's our long-term
Really?
plan. Yep.
Yeah, so in that regard, does Doueihi go back to lock next week? Because
We had the 13 on his back this week. He was named there.
Yeah,
so I think for the balance of our team and what they're trying to go towards, lock is where he goes.
yeah, I think you have to do it. Like I said, like Riles and Parramatta, you're building towards next year, not this year. You should be clear of the wooden spoon now. Now it's going, all right, what do we do for next year? Because I like what Benji says. I think it is Latu, and I think it is Jerome Luai. So I think it's Doueihi to 13.
Yeah, I'm with you. Agree. I think that's been his best spot, and he's where he's had the best impact for us this year.
And maybe Doueihi at 5'8" jags you one extra win this year potentially, but for next year that's more important.
Yeah.
The only thing with Latu is he ready to be an out-and-out 7 for the club? I'm not sure. Now another preseason, obviously, is going to continue to develop.
I'd play him 6 and just give
Luai
Luai a crack at 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they look bloody good. And Doueihi's got quite a lot of game. Could you bring Latu off the bench for just one more year to give him just more time to kind of develop potentially? But yeah, look, the good thing is it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Friggin' oath.
That's right.
It's a good problem to have. And the good thing is I actually think Doueihi with a full preseason at 13 will be quite a good 13. And that is one area where you just have not had an out-and-out 13 for quite a while. I can't remember when was the last time you had a genuine 13? I can't remember.
Yeah, long time. Well, yeah, be a while.
Because Bolo was going to be it for a bit, but he's a front row now. Terrell's front row.
Chris Hyington.
I know, bring him back.
Liam Fulton.
A while ago.
And so the good thing with Doueihi is I really feel he can fulfill that role, just as long as he's not getting through a million tackles. That's what I wouldn't want for Adam Doueihi.
Yep.
But yeah, the performance is incredible. I got to say, I thought the game was done when Seyfarth first he gives away a penalty with the ball in hand. So dumb. What I don't get with that with Seyfarth is you can't do that. You can't push someone's head twice like that, and it's not just a little push. It was a aggressive push, and he just like, you've been in the game too long to do that. So that's bad enough. So he does that. And then he goes and gives away a penalty with a head high and gets sent in the bin for 10. And it's like, oh, man, like, I thought that he'd gotten this shit out of his game, and I thought the game was done. I thought it was done.
Yeah, we messaged about that time, and you kind of said, there you go, that's the game. And
I thought it was done.
You know what? Could very well be, because they're a good team. You give them, you know, a one-man advantage for 10 minutes. I've seen that movie a few times before with the Tigers. Thankfully, it wasn't the case in the end. But, yeah, not a great kind of 90 seconds from Seyfarth there. I will say, though, apparently he's going to get 3 weeks with an early plea for that tackle. Why does that get sent to the sin bin? And very similar tackle up the other end with Critter. Why does he not get sent to the sin bin? And why is he not looking at a couple of weeks?
You know what? I saw Tigers fans blowing up left, right and centre. Taylor May clearly slips in.
I think it's
tackle.
a slip.
And I do not think it's the same thing at all. And I know there's the argument of high contact, but you literally see Critter trying to get lower and Taylor just slips and there's the head contact. So I don't think it's the same thing. I wouldn't have sin bin him.
I think it's a big slip. Now, I don't agree with punishing someone because of the outcome, but the NRL has shown they will punish for an outcome. And the problem I have is the inconsistency. That was Cat 1. And the NRL they've done it so many times where they've gone, because of this injury, you're getting this or whatever. That's the inconsistency, because it was a Cat 1, and yet they usually do it anyway. But I don't believe you should do that. I don't think that the injury in the situation should dictate, within reason. Obviously, there's certain things, but within reason. Me personally, I just thought he was slipping. Yeah. Whereas like the Seyfarth one, there was no slipping, nothing like that. It was literally just like shoulder to head. Yeah.
And yeah, pardon the pun, but you're running a very slippery slope. If you start sin binning, and as I said, to your point, Kempy, we've seen him do it before. So as always, consistency is what we want. But when blokes are slipping over in horrendous conditions like that, and Critter's trying to get lower.
Critter was really low.
I just, like, a sin bin, again, the example always goes back to, if this happens in a grand final in those conditions, that sin bin, every chance to determine a grand final winner. From a pure accident, there was no intent from Critter or anything, because he slipped so late as well, Taylor May. It's like, I don't know. I think bin
also,
is crap.
Critter's intent was to go low.
Yeah,
like, that was his intent.
Crouch.
Yeah.
Like,
but I understand the frustration from Tigers with the fact that it was a Category 1, concussion.
Seyfarth does not try and go low when he had every chance to do it. Like, it's just not the same thing in my eyes. But
so I was actually quite surprised Benji Marshall was frustrated in the post-match press conference with that call. I was just like, surely he saw Taylor May slip, but feels like Tigers fans do feel like he should have been 10 in the bin.
Yeah, I think it was, I know he slipped and whatever, but we've seen them through the year, contact with the head.
Gonskis?
Get in the bin.
Yeah, okay. Now, in regards to other performances, I thought Alex Toll in defence, especially towards the end there where he sprinted out of the line.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Mate, I think Toll's been pretty good this year. Really good.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's actually, funnily enough, so he's been missing more tackles, but I actually think he's been more aggressive in defence.
Agree.
And like, that's we always talk about, sometimes, it's great if you don't miss any tackles. That's a hard thing to do, but that's usually because you're not shooting out of the line trying to jam someone. I like that Twel's changed his game a little bit and he's trying to put on shots and, because defence is his best part of his game and that's how he can impact games. I thought he was really good on the weekend.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. He's had a really good year. Obviously got given the captaincy a couple of weeks ago. He's now a leader in the team, really. So he sets the tone with a lot of things. And, I know Benji's got a lot of time for him and puts a lot of trust in him. So he was really good yesterday against the Dogs. He's had a really good year.
Who stood out for you, Timmy?
There's been a few, mate. I was going to say Samuel Afino, beautiful line for that try late. It was potentially a deliberate forward pass, but nonetheless, a good line from him. He hasn't been as good as I'd hoped he has been this year, Finu, but I do think, just spending time with the same halves, right? Like, he built up such a good combination with Lachlan Galvin last year, and then to have halves partners chop and change, I think it'll come along. There's still an unreal talent in Samuel Afino. It's just, as I said, it takes time with new blokes inside you.
Yeah, I'm with you. And also, big year last year. Sometimes that second year you can be a bit fatigued.
Honestly, more often than not.
Yeah, it happens all the time. And it's just that second year where, you've had such a big year, your body just needs a bit more time to recover.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm just trying to think. Look, I actually thought Terrell May was really brave because they went after Terrell May. Like, they were hunting him.
Yep.
And he just kept turning up. And like that 133 metres he made, like, that was a tough 133 metres because they targeted him. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his toughness, Terrell May. I'll never forget, I think it was against the Roosters where he got head high in first tackle.
Yeah.
Clearly concussed.
Yep.
Still went on him, 150 metres, got through 40 tackles. And I thought on the weekend, it was just a brave effort, like a super, super brave effort from Terrell May.
Yeah, agree. He was, got made to do a lot of work, but still got through a lot of work. Not his best start. Had that kind of drop off the kickoff, and especially against a team like the Dogs, I thought, geez, this could be a bit of a long day here if this is how we're starting. But put that behind him, and he ripped in for the rest of the day.
I got to say, Buller, he does just add an extra dimension to your attack.
100%.
I got to be honest, like, when people go, oh, we got to keep Buller. I do think you need to keep him, but I was a bit like, I feel like you could kind of replace him. But like, as long as you're getting him for a decent price, like he actually is really, really important to your attack.
Well, if we're keeping him, it's $900K a season. That was the
900.
That was the option. That's what it was. It was high at the time, but I think that's what we've got to fork out to keep him.
Jeez. I think the world of him. I think he's got so much potential with his speed and his athleticism, but 900's a lot for a bloke who hasn't proven that much.
Not a rep player.
No.
I'd say 750.
Yeah.
750 is
even that's like you're still paying a bit on potential, but I'd probably do it for him
because and also like what else is out there?
Yeah, 900.
900.
That's a stupid amount.
So is that the contract that he has next year?
No. So there's that option. If they want to keep him.
Okay. So now they're trying to negotiate him down from that price.
Well, no, I think that if they want to keep him, that's what they've agreed.
So that'd be for 27.
Yeah.
No, but so is the option in the club's favour?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the reason why that option hasn't been taken up though is because the club is trying to negotiate him down from it.
Yeah, but I think don't they have to say before November 1 this year coming up that they're going to take it to lock him in?
Yeah, I can only assume they're trying to negotiate him down from that because that's a lot of fucking money.
No, it is heaps. But
What would you give him, Hammy?
Yeah, I think that 750 kind of 800 figure you were talking about is, when he hits his heights, he could be up around that.
He could be worth 900 for sure, but who plays fullback if not him?
Well, we probably have to go get another one.
Yeah.
Heath Mason is filled in there a bit, but
true.
If the Tigers decline the option, Buller can trigger a player option for 800,000 or explore offers from other clubs.
Okay.
Interesting. That's interesting. I reckon they'll decline it to try and get him for 800 because he's not going to get 900 anywhere else.
I don't think so either. 800's a bloody good wicket.
But I would say as a player, you'd be like, you would feel a certain kind of way, like that the club had agreed to this amount and that not agreed to it, but put it there. And then turned around and said, we want to keep you, but for not that amount. You'd be like, well...
I mean, the only 900K is just the new franchises.
No, I don't think they would. I'm going for Jaden Campbell for 900 before Buller.
That's if you can get Jaden Campbell, easy said than done.
I would be going for Jaden Campbell before I'd be going for Buller.
We saw how much the Dolphins struggled to spend their cap and attract marquee players. They'll have extra money to spend. So, anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do you go with youth, though, if you're Perth, though? Get the best young guy coming through and put him on 500 or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, Buller's, I know you're paying top end, but what's he, 22 or something?
Yeah, I will say Buller does offer quite a unique kind of skill set as a fullback. He has a unique style of play. He's not necessarily just a meter eater, but at the same time, he's, he gets through his work most weeks, but he also has, a bit of finesse about him as well. Anyway, incredible performance from the Tigers, exactly what they needed as a club. And what I really like about this performance is it gives the club a bit of stability in regards to that probably makes Benji definitely safe. Even though he might have been safe already, but it definitely makes him safe, I think, for the rest of the year. Stability heading into next year. It shows you how far the club has come. They've already won more games than last year. They've won more games than the Bulldogs did in their first year against their rebuild. So it kind of just it kind of sets in stone how much the club's improved.
Yep.
So that's good. Now onto the Bulldogs quickly. I think the real concern is just the style of rugby league and wet weather footy. I will say though, I'm still quite surprised at the fall off compared to last week at how poor they were this week. Completion rate was really bad. Some just silly errors. They just got out enthused everywhere. And I don't know, I thought they would have had enough motivation for this game just with how all the drama off the field or whatever. I did think it was good to see Galvin and Luai shake hands after it and, just put to bed any rumours that they hated each other or whatever, which was good. But yeah, with the Bulldogs, just a little bit surprised at their lack of intensity, especially heading into finals footy.
Yeah, I'm so glad there was that vision of Luai and Galvin speaking at the end of the game and just, as I said, put it all to bed because there was so much feeling and you could tell. And when Jerome sort of got up in his face after an error or something there, like, all right, there's a bit in this. If they didn't have that sort of minute or so yarny at the end of the game, it just would have set people off and they'd be talking about all season. It was like, no, there's respect there, but on the field, he's hurt the club, so it was good to see. Doggies, they just didn't play well in the conditions, as you said, mate. Like, it's one thing to talk about a smaller pack and these sorts of things and maybe not suiting the wet weather, but they just completed 67%, and that's nowhere near enough for this club who have prided themselves recently off being that 80% completion, this very professional outfit. So, poor performance.
Look at the forwards here. Max King, 69 metres. Samuel Hughes, 55 metres. Kickout, 69 metres. Preston, 109 metres. Salmon, 34 metres. Jeez, that's crazy. I'll just have a quick look at the Tigers just to be sure. 12, 40 metres. Samuel, 22 metres. Okay, maybe just conditions. A game where...
A lot of drop ball.
Oh, sorry, actually.
Yeah, that 13 errors.
Sorry, I got that wrong. So, May, 135. 12, 117. Samuel Fino, 62. Safebath, 88. And obviously 10 off the bin, so probably would have reached 100. Doueihi, I didn't play 13. Who played 13 then?
Fino, other Fino.
Sione
started 13.
And so 86 metres.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, wasn't too bad then. Just one of those games where there wasn't much ball in play, I'd assume.
I liked what they did with Kiraz and Crichton.
Yeah,
it's the little Tommy Turbo, as we'll now call it, where at the start of the game, and I think he had a relatively early try assist, not try assist, it might have been a put up short, whatever. For Preston,
short ball to Preston.
You're not sort of playing fullback, but he was playing literally the hybrid Tommy Turbo role, and I love it because it was basically Jacob Kiraz playing fullback and doing kick returns and his yardage and all that important stuff that he does so well. They just got the best of both players because Kiraz doesn't have that silky ball playing that Critter does, and Critter had, I think, a couple of try assists in this game with chiming in as a sweeping sort of fullback in that attacking territory. And I think on what was a really tough day out for him, I think that was a big win.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, is that the next step of their attack? When Connor Tracy comes back, will they add in Critter's ability to roam in attack? Because I will say it seemed like anyway in this game, he even might have better ball playing than Connor Tracy to a degree. Like I think
I would argue he probably does.
Yeah, like Critter's soft hands were really good, really, really good. And we know he's got one of the best tip-ons in the competition, so jamming in on is going to be quite hard. I don't mind it because I don't want Critter taking 25 runs a game because he's just going to bang his body up. He's a Ferrari. You want him scoring tries.
And you get the best of both of us because they could have kept him at fullback the entire game and just kept Kiraz out wide. But no, like Critter's arguably the best defensive centre in the world, so we'll keep him there for that and we get everything we want from these two players.
And also, like in regards to just like hit ups and getting through work, like Kiraz is one of the best in the comp.
Yeah,
so it's a good mixture. It's a good mixture. I will say the only, I guess, downfall is if you're looking to attack coming out of your own end or at the halfway line or whatever, it's not as strong, but you can work with it. But yeah, just a disappointing performance. As I said, I just thought Burton, I mean, he did have that one line break but in the end got the ball knocked out or whatever. But I thought Burton and Galvin just didn't seem to offer. And I know it was a stop-start game and they didn't have a good completion rate, but they just didn't seem to offer enough in attack.
No, they didn't. And nor did Viliami kick out in this one. I thought he had a pretty poor game by his standards. Interesting to note, Mitchy Woods, 18th man.
Yes.
Close.
I said last week that maybe instead of Sexton coming back, it'll be Woods coming in, and it seems like it is potentially the case. I wonder whether he put Mitch Woods there because it was a big game that was like a lot of spite or whatever, just to get that experience of like an intense match.
Yeah.
Bit of method to that.
Because, exciting times for him to be a part of the squad. I've got to say with Kickout specifically, don't get me wrong, I love his aggressive defence, But I feel like sometimes he has to pick his moments where he shoots out of the line to jam someone, because I think it was the first try, he shot out of the line and got bumped by Doueihi. And there's just a couple of times where, as I said, I like it, but he's just got to pick and choose his times a bit better, I think.
It's a lot easier to shoot up and try and put a shot on and get the boys up and going from the middle because there's bodies everywhere. You do it on an edge, you leave them short, and as you saw what Doueihi did to him there, set up try straight off the back of it. So, yeah.
So just something he's got a bit better at. I think just one of those games where they just were a bit complacent. I've got to say, I love Jacob Preston's. They got in a bit of a push and shove at the start. I just love the dog in Jacob Preston. Like, he doesn't give up. He is going to come at you all day long. He is, even if you're losing by 30 points, he is still turning up. So in the end, he had a try. That great line that he ran, over 100 metres, 42 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, a line break, 31 tackles. I mean, I just think Jacob Preston's so bloody good. So good. So hopefully they bounce back. I thought Kurt Mann off the bench was outstanding. Mate, I can't believe the level he's gone to. Just especially his defence. Like, he was shotting blokes out there. But yeah, I thought he was outstanding off the bench. But it's just going to be one of those ones that they're going to need to really find some consistent form heading into finals. Otherwise, they'll get bounced out. It's really that simple.
Yeah.